I saw a post recently with a joking comment about teaching how to play in the time signature 1721. Now, that isn't really possible in the normal sense of the word because we don't have a way of writing a note that represents a 21th note. The closest we can really get is to write a group of 21 notes that fills a bar. So let's have a look at this. This is 4/4 playing 4 quarter notes. And if we divide this bar into 3 with half note triplets, and then we divide those 3 into 7 each, we would get 21 notes in a bar. So this is basically 21 21th notes. So you could consider this time signature to be 21-21. Now, if we wanted to play in 1721, we would basically need to stop after 17 of these notes and start over. But we don't really have a way of writing that because the only way we have of writing a 21th note is to do it in the course of a bar like this and say there are 21 notes in this bar. Now, if we came up with a new note shape and called it a 21th note and assigned a tempo to that, then we could write a bar of music in 1721. But that wouldn't really serve much of a purpose because you could just write the same thing in 1716. It doesn't really make any sense unless you're going to be changing from, for example, a 4/4 time signature into a 1721 time signature. So we can kind of replicate that by using metric modulation and saying to ourselves that we will repurpose a 16th note to be a 21th note. And in order to do that, we would create a bar of 21/16 like this. So this has 21 16th notes in it. And we need those to play at the same rate as these 21 notes in this bar here. So we can do that with metric modulation in PolyNome, and we can select this 21 notes as our base rate and then select the 21/16 notes, and then we can go to the Actions menu, Tempo options, and apply metric modulation, and that modifies the tempo of this preset so that those notes will play at the same rate as these notes. So if we play from this preset, so that's 21 evenly spaced notes at a tempo of 120 BPM, and then when we switch to this one, the note rate stays the same, but the tempo has actually changed. So this is essentially 21-21, and each of these notes we're considering to be a 21th note. So then to play in the equivalent of 1721, we would need this tempo to be the same as this tempo. So if I just set this to 157, then this bar is now the equivalent of 1721 time signature, where this is 4/4 time signature. So the difference being that a bar of 1716 is slightly longer in duration than a bar of 4/4 because it's a 16th note extra, and a bar of 1721 is shorter than a bar of 4/4 because it's 4 21th notes shorter than a bar. So this bar of 4/4 is longer than this bar of 1721. So this is what happens when we play through them. We've got 4/4, and then we're dividing into that triplet, and then you'll hear that accent as we divide each of those into 7. So we've got 21 evenly spaced notes, and then we use metric modulation and repurpose the 16th notes to be like 21th notes. So the rate stays the same, but the tempo has changed, and then we make a shorter bar to go into 1721. So that is what a bar of 1721 sounds like compared to a bar of 4. I don't know where anybody's ever going to use that, but I think it's interesting to look into why we can't notate things very easily in 1721. It's just that we don't have note shapes that we can consider to be 21th notes.